Welcome to another episode of Behind the Dreamers with the Starter Girls. I'm Jennifer Loading.
And I'm Brianna Drillas, and we're talking to the creators, achievers, dreamers, and the magic makers.
These are our friends, these are your friends, and they are living the extraordinary. Today's episode is brought to you by Walt Mills, photographer of Glad Models Agency. If you are here in the Dallas or surrounding area and looking for some photography work, check out Walt Mills. You can learn more about him and his work at photosbywalt.com.
We also want to give a special shout out to Chris Clow at Upbeat Studios. If you need anything for your event needs, you need to just call Clow.
Yep. And we love Chloe. All right. So we're super excited. We got two amazing women here. I'm excited to hear about them today. So Cristina Bruneau and Suzanna Dupuy are the founders of Beauty by Apothecary, which came about in 2018. And I'm going to have you guys talk about this, but the inspiration behind this company really came about when Christina's daughter was diagnosed with acute kidney failure. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're super excited to have you here. And so Cristina, as a result of that, dedicated, her time to doing research on organic and natural holistic remedies. And that led to this beauty skincare line, which we're so excited. And I know I've gotten to try some of it. So we're super excited to talk about it. And so I want to welcome you both to the show and say, we're glad to have you here today.
Thank you
so much. We're so excited to be here.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. So we see your beautiful setup back there. And Brianna, I've received a box of this in the mail. So I'm just going to tell you their packaging is creme de la creme. It is amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cool.
So,
So tell us a little bit about, I know that, we just mentioned you guys jumped off in 2018. How long did it take for you to develop the products and do all of that? Like how much time are we talking prior to 2018?
Okay, I'm going to let Cristina start with this one because she actually started.
Yeah, so we actually launched in 2019, in November of 2019. So that was challenging because we all know, 2020, I feel like it doesn't count. But so I had been formulating for several years prior to that. And I was just making products, just formulas for my family. Because of my daughter's health condition. She was 11 years old when she was diagnosed. And they told me, they were like, she's going to have to go, she's stage 4. There's nothing you can do about it. She's going to have to go on dialysis probably in a couple of months, to be able to do the whole process for a transplant for a kidney is, that takes, several months, if not a couple of years. So it is what it is. And I just looked at my little 11-year-old kid and I was like, there's no way I'm going to allow this to happen before she gets her transplant. She cannot go on dialysis, because there's risks and side effects to that as well. And damage that can be done to the cells and the blood and all that. It's just so young, And I don't know. I mean, sometimes people don't realize when you go in for a dialysis treatment, it's hours and hours of just sitting there and having your blood filtered through a machine. And it just exhausts you and it's just not a fun time. So anyhow, I started doing a lot of research and I was like, okay, so everything that goes into your body and anything that goes on your skin has to be filtered by your organs, right? So I just, I changed everything, the cleaning supplies, the food, the toothpaste, the shampoo, the soap, the lotion. I just changed it all up and I was like, this is what we're doing now. I would drive, 30 minutes out of town and collect spring water from a natural spring for her to drink. Because, we all know that they treat the drinking water, the tap water, it's all treated with chemicals. So, we did that for about a year and her kidneys lasted long enough for her to never have to go on dialysis before her kidney transplant. And even the doctors were like, well, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it because it's working. She's steady, she's going to make it to the end of the line and not have to be on dialysis. So that was really the motivation for me. So, and so then I just kind of kept it up and I just kept, making what I would, typically make, for my household and my family. And then a lot of like family and friends would be like, hey, I got this issue. Can you make me something? And so I would. And then everybody just kind of started encouraging me. They're like, you need to put this on the market. And that, it took me a while to like really be convinced because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work and there's a lot of competition, but we just went for it. And then Suzanna, you have a vast background in skincare. You've been in skincare for a long time.
Yeah. So I have about a 20 some year like long stint with skincare. So I started off with Sicily Cosmetics, which is a French skincare line out of Neiman Marcus. And that was like my first, as a child, not as a child, as a young teenager and young adult, living in South America, I traveled a lot and I was always interested in beauty and health and skincare. And I learned a lot from different places that I lived. And, like I used to always, do my own like facial treatments and masks and this, that, and the other. So I always loved that part of, I've been passionate about skin and beauty. Then when I came back to the States, I started working for Sicily and I learned a lot. It's a great skincare line, very, very pricey. But it wasn't like 100% natural and organic, but I learned from them a lot. And then I worked for Moravitsa, which is a skincare line out of Hungary. And I worked for them for 7 years, there's a lot of skincare brands out there and a lot of them are good. You know what I mean? There is like some that are just, I feel like they want to make a skincare line. And so they just like, get, a company to formulate for them and then they brand it and they put it out there. Right. But so I was, I've seen it all and I was kind of like done with the skincare industry. And I was living in Houston and my kids were all grown up and, it was a change of time of my life, empty nester. I don't know. I just want to do something completely different. So I moved back to Dallas and I was getting into the aviation kind of industry. And I met up with Cristina and
I hadn't seen you in like 20 years.
Yeah. We hadn't seen each other for a long, long time. And she was married with kids and all this stuff. And I ended up going to their house and I saw the products that she was making and kind of like the idea what she was doing. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And she had like some event coming up that she was trying to finish all this stuff for. So I'm like, hey, I've got some time on my hands. I can help you. She needed some help
for sure.
Yeah. And so we started working together towards the goal of this event. Right. And we had to like, get all these products made and just like, she had all the groundwork done, but there was all the
execution of it.
Yes. Yeah. To make it happen. So we started working together and then we just realized that like, we worked really, really good together. And the products, I was just kind of, I was just like looking and then I'd start using some of the products and she gave me, different things. We have more products now than we started out with, but, I started using a few of the products and I was like, okay, these are nice. Yeah, I like them. But I had tried and I had so many other products, you know what I mean? Like literally the best. I had like all the Sicily stuff, all the Moravitsa stuff, all the, in the cosmetic industry, everybody's like trading, wanting to try everything. And you become a junkie at that point, you want to try everything. So I had a lot of stuff, but I was using the stuff that she was making and I was just like, okay, yeah, I really kind of like this. And then I started when COVID happened, I started traveling and because, I was doing like, I know it sounds weird when COVID happened, I started traveling, but after lockdown for a while, because our business kind of like
came to a standstill. A great like coming out party.
Yeah, I know. We had just, and so I went and I would travel and then I would bring other little travel samples of other stuff after using our stuff. And I was just like, it's not the same. It doesn't absorb the same. It doesn't, and I was like, I always felt like, especially like being like 50, I was kind of like, or close to 50 at that point. I was thinking more about my health and my, what you're putting in your body and what you're doing and all of that. And Nothing worked like the products that she was making. It was simple. It was just very simple. And I felt like it absorbed and it nourished, and and I knew exactly what was in it because we were making it. And so I've always like literally I was able to like get rid of all these other things, because, trying something and you have like this much left, it doesn't work, and you try something else. But, I was able to just like replace everything. And one of the cool things is that we actually can formulate and make whatever we want or need. And we, and we figure if we perfect a product that we want or need, women our age, and then we have our daughters working with us too, who are other ages, and we try it and we get, but we perfect it, and we know that other people are going to have the same need or the same want. And, so that's at the end of, it was at the very end of 2018 when I met you.
Mhm.
And then I decided, I know she needed help to get it off the ground. And I always wanted to do something, but I didn't have like all the formulating experience and all of that. So we just decided to do it, just to make it available, because there was a lot of people asking for it, and people were just like, can you make this again? I've tried this, I've tried that, I'm allergic to everything. My daughter has this, I have this, do you have anything for the, they're looking for real natural, and there's so much out there that it's confusing sometimes. There's all these products out there. And I mean, one thing that I can say about our products is that we only use the best ingredients. We make it like as if it was for us.
Mhm.
We make the products with what we would want for us, and we want results, obviously.
Yeah.
So, we also package, like all of our packaging is amber glass, like food grade amber glass, because that actually keeps the integrity of products. Because if you have an organic product that doesn't have all the chemicals and fillers and all the preservatives and all the, all the stuff that you don't know what it is in it, it's sensitive to light and heat and all that, so we took pride in that and making it sustainable. Like, this product is going to last longer in this jar. It's not going to eat away at the plastics and get chemicals in your product. I mean, it's like the best that you can get, in my opinion, from everything I've seen. And that's what we wanted to make. And it is small, we are a small business, but we are growing. But I think that's what kind of sets us apart, is that, it's the real deal. We are making it. We are not like, having some company just mass produce it or anything like that. And, even the ingredients, sourcing all the ingredients is a challenge. Christina spends so much time, each ingredient, we try it, we test it, we go through quite a few, we find the best, and then all of a sudden your supplier doesn't have it. And then you have to find another resource, and that takes a lot of time. So, it's a labor of love, most certainly, on both of our parts.
Yeah.
So I kind of handle the business side and the marketing side, which doesn't say much because we're not super good at that. But yeah, no, we're growing. It's actually been amazing.
it's been
The growth
great,
that we've had the last year has been really, really cool.
Yeah.
You sound
it's
like
just,
a great
you know,
team. You sound like you kind of ebb and flow each other. So I think, and that's
we
important. I
call
think,
this
when
yin
you're-
and yang.
yeah, well, and that's important, I think, because when you're trying to grow a business and it's kind of like we all have like a skill set, right? Like we have things we're great at and we have things that we're not. And I think the beauty of running a business is when you recognize, okay, hey, maybe I'm not so great in this area and I can bring another person into my space that can excel in that area. I think this is why Brianna and I work well together on a lot of things, because we have some things that are alike. We're both direct and we can like cut to the chase and get to what we need to, but she has a different skill set than I have. And we bring different things, to the table. So I think you guys kind of ebb and flow that. I think it's awesome.
I know, yeah, absolutely. Which has been it's like I told Susie when we first, decided to go into business together, I was like, it's kind of like a dance that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's effortless, and I love that, because it's hard to bring somebody, like you said, into that space and into a business like that, because it can really go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the right person. So yeah, it's been really amazing.
Yeah, like we would finish each other's sentences, like, when you're growing with like the ideas and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or I would be thinking something and she would say it. And I was like, no, like I swear to God, I was
Like
thinking
you're
the
reading my mind.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're on the same
Well,
wavelength.
I think that's a great thing to
Yeah.
point out because, you know, these like partnerships, right? When you go into business, there are so many solo entrepreneurs, which I personally don't necessarily want someone like partnered with me. I don't mind having a VA and a couple people I'm going to hire to help me with things, but like as it pertains to like my business that I'm running, like that's just, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine. So the fact that the two of you are able to run your business together side by side, like it says a lot about the two of you and also your relationship. It's a big deal. That's hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hard to find, and I think that like we both had like a real passion too, you know.
Mhm.
So and that was like the thing, like the glue that kind of like
Yeah,
facilitated it to like
Mhm,
come
sure.
together the way that it did.
yeah, because I don't think I would have like jumped into it. Was just kind of like, when like you have to listen to those times in your life when, like it was a change time in my life and I was changing careers and, and I had something that, I was like going for, but then this kind of came into my life and it kind of was like I said, I always wanted to do something. Everybody was like, you should start your own skincare line. And I'm like, oh my God, that just, I don't even know where to start with that. You know what I mean? And everybody's doing it. And so I don't want to just start a skincare line to start a skincare line.
Right.
Like I was not, that's not what I wanted to do. But this just all happened. And I know that there's nothing like, with the quality and the, I just know what we have is good. And I have to be able to believe in something if I'm gonna,
Get behind it.
sell it,
Yeah, of course.
have to believe in it. So, I mean, it just happened. And then the part that I was missing that was just like, it was like, she came with all that other stuff,
Mhm.
like she was like into, like her mom, is an herbalist as well,
Mhm.
who actually healed herself from stage 4 cervical cancer, naturally, like
Wow.
100%. And she's still doing great today, very healthy. Like,
Yeah, that was
amazing.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
And she still goes every year and gets her checkups and everything,
Yeah. So Christina grew up with a lot of that, like, knowledge
Mhm.
already, and then her delving into it more. And I mean, this woman here, like when she focuses on something, it's like, forget it. Like she really gets into it, and she's done her work and her research, and I mean, it shows, and it's fun too to be able to create new things and, and trial and error and whatever. But then, it's so rewarding when people are like, oh my gosh, this has helped me so much. And, this is like we have a Terra balm, a new healing balm
Oh,
that
this one.
do you have it there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That, we research ingredients that are not widely used. And I mean, we research ingredients that are the best, and then we realize they're not widely used. Like this one has fulvic acid in it, which is a compound that comes from the deep. You have to dig like, how far into the ground?
You have to mine at least 150 feet to get
Yeah.
like the really pure
So it's
stuff.
decomposed plant and animal matter from hundreds and hundreds of years ago that has been
Like thousands and
thousands,
hundreds
okay,
and thousands.
that has been broken down molecularly. So it's like 72 minerals that your skin needs, but it's broken down so it's molecularly small enough to absorb through the skin. And then, so it's healing. So your skin can absorb all those minerals that we're made up of, and it's very healing. And this stuff has been so amazing for healing, and people have just been nonstop, telling us, oh my gosh, it even helped me with my arthritis. It, it's helped me with my eczema, my psoriasis, healing burns,
Warts.
Yeah, warts.
Athlete's foot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really amazing. So, you know what I mean? Just being able to actually, create things that people need. And, I think we're filling a need for people, and beauty for us is like, just taking care of your skin and feeding your skin. and it's a whole body thing, you know, because like what you put on your skin, on your body, you could eat healthy all day long and organic, but if you're slathering chemicals on your body, your skin, your body's still having to filter that, and the chemicals that it absorbs and doesn't know what to do with, your body starts, that's how you get like blood toxicity, you know, skin eruptions, you know, it has to come out some way.
Yeah.
And each person's, you know, makeup is different and it comes out in a different way, but that's a cause of a lot of the problems, the health issues, you know, that society is facing at large today. And it's largely the amount of, you know,
Toxins, the buildup
toxins
of
that are in
toxins.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an interesting story. And I the reason I say this because I obviously understand the value in herbs and all of that because I've had to cure my own self from a disorder. And so I believe wholeheartedly in even, you know, linking back to depression. And there's a lot of things, you know, food toxicity and things that we put in our body that attribute to these diseases and conditions or make them worse. And so when you talk about it was your mother that had the cervical cancer. I mean, I believe you know, when I hear stories where people have things like that, you know, my immediate reaction is, okay, let's cut the sugar and start looking at what you're eating, because that is a contributor of all those things. So I think this is a really interesting story. I also know somebody that went through dialysis a long time ago. So I understand the complexity of that and how that can impact the life. So I think this is such an interesting story, you know, and I can tell you two are passionate about it. So I think that's, you know, I put something up the other day about, you know, discipline not being, you need discipline in life, but it's not necessarily the key to everything, because you've got to be fueled, you know, inspired by your passion and fueled, or inspired by your purpose and fueled by your passion. You've got to have those elements in there, because like you said, you know, Suzanna, you could go and create a skincare line, but that's not really your part, you know, to create that, and you're not passionate about that, then really what good are you doing in the world, right? So you guys just found that perfect blend where you have somebody that, hey, has that part of the business that you're looking for, and you bring the other skill set to that, and you guys line in the passion. And I think that's what's fueling this and making it go forward. So congratulations to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing all of that. I know that we have a lot of listeners who are really going to appreciate your story and your journey, and who are definitely going to want to be checking out your skincare line and your products.
It's awesome packaging. I wish I should have brought my box, but you can see it because that's what it looks like. And they package it up in this nice little box, and it's awesome.
Yes. I want some of that balm for sure.
Yeah. Where are your products? Because I know you guys are in stores, aren't you? Aren't you launched out in some places now? Where are you guys at?
So we have been opening new locations. We're direct to consumer, like on our website.
Yep.
But here in Dallas, we have the first place that we were in is Casa Yoga on Lovers Lane.
Okay.
And then there's Ken's Man's Shop on Preston and Royal.
Okay.
Then we are in Tyler, Texas, in Harley's. It's funny. Lately, a lot of men's stores have been pulling us, picking us up. Because I mean, you know, it's just good skincare for everybody. It's not just directed to women. It's just, you know, and one of the things, I did a facial for a client the other day. We, you know, it was kind of a special thing. We want to kind of incorporate that, but anyways, I was just, you know, and he was like, very like, I don't do anything to, you know, I just wash my face and blah, 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 blah. But he's getting a little bit older and he's looking, you know, and he was like, well, how do I use that? He was like, I'm not going to do this, and this, and this, and this. And I was like, look, you don't, if you're working on a certain issue, like you're working on your wrinkles or you're wanting the pores, this, that, and the other, if you're working on a certain issue, it behooves you to be consistent and do it. Yeah. But if you're just wanting to maintain and just have good skincare, I was like, that's what's really cool about our products is that they are 100% organic and they're good for you. They're feeding your skin. So whenever you do use it, whenever you are going to clean your face, whenever you are going to do something, if you use the products that feed your skin and penetrate and actually, you know, help your skin, then, I mean, it's going to benefit you in the long run, you know? And like, you know, we have like so many, like you can use the products anywhere on your body and feel safe about it. You know, of course, like the eye cream is made for the eye area because it's more delicate and, you know, and so it doesn't irritate the eyes. But when we first came out with the eye cream, we didn't even have the lumosity yet. And the women were taking it home, loving it. And they're like, my husband's using it all. And he's putting it all over his face. And we're like, okay, I get it.
Time for a new product for the men.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then, but yeah, like our body butters can be used head to toe. Some people put it in their hair, I mean, all of our bath soaks are actually have reasons for being, like they're therapeutic. One of the sore muscle soak, concentrated turmeric with black pepper, and then, to soothe the muscles and take down inflammation, the lavender for relaxation, the oatmeal for, with all the other ingredients for, skin issues.
Yep.
And they all have like a purpose.
Yeah.
And they're therapy, and they're very concentrated too. So you just need a little bit.
It's good. Good to know. Thanks for sharing all that. Good stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
one thing,
congrats.
we do recycle all of our jars, because that was another thing that's been a stress, is getting our jars, because they're food grade amber glass. They are very expensive. But we had to get them from China starting out, because there's no way we could afford getting them here in the States at first, So we have a really good stock, but we try to recycle as much as possible, and we encourage people. We're trying to figure out a way to, like, locally, people can come and bring back the products. Oh,
Jars.
the jars. Yeah, the jars, and we will give them a discount. But even like
Good
if
to know.
people want to send them back in, we will give them a discount, that's more than what they had to pay for shipping to get them back, until we can roll out a program that, is like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have everything to recycle. We have the
The sanitizer.
sanitizers and all of that. And we recycle everything in this place. We do. We reuse and recycle everything.
Incredible.
Very good.
Great. So what is the website? If people want to check out your products, how can they find them?
So our products, our website is www.beautybyapothecary.com. And then we also have our Facebook and Instagram, which is also Beauty by Apothecary. Just all one word, Beauty by Apothecary. All together. We are also, if you go on the website and you want to message us on the website, it's going to be one of myself or Cristina to answer.
Okay.
We actually do have a couple people that we just hired on a couple months ago, and that is Gianna, my oldest daughter, and Carrie, Christina's oldest daughter, who actually is the one that had the kidney thing, and she's doing great. She's
Awesome.
beautiful.
Wonderful to hear.
They're a super blessing to us. I mean, we waited as long as we could, just financially and everything, because but we had to get help, and they have been amazing. And then our emails are just like Suzanna at Beauty by Apothecary and Cristina. And I am Suzanna, Suzanna,
Okay.
at Beauty by Apothecary, and she's Cristina, Cristina without an H, at Beauty by Apothecary.
We'll make sure when this goes out too, that we tag you guys and we have the website link on there, and then you'll be getting copies too, of course, but we'll make sure everybody that all the important information's on there so they know how to find you and check in.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. That we're available to answer questions, anything,
Yeah.
We love what we do, and we would love to, get it to more people.
Sure. All right. Well, wonderful. This has been fun. Thanks you for sharing everything and your story and how this kind of came about. And like I said, I can tell that you guys are passionate about it. So I think that that's always half the battle, right? Like you got to be excited about what you're trying to put out there into the world. So I think you guys have that down, and you look like you make a great team. So I think that that's awesome. All right. And so I do want to say, of course, to our listeners, if you enjoy our show, please be sure you give us a rating, both on iTunes and Facebook, because we can't do this without you, and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube.
And I have a parting little thought for us today. And the parting thought is from Walt Disney, of all people. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing.
It's good.
And you did a lot of doing over there, Cristina.
Yeah, lots of doing. All right. And to live the extraordinary, you must start, and every start begins with a decision. You guys take care, be safe, and be kind to one another. We will see you next time.